game of round 6 of the top 14. It's Clermont who get us underway, running left to right, wearing white, and it's brought down by Juan Martin Fernandez for Toulon. Olivant to Tranduc, and Lee Halfpenny completes the exit play for Toulon. Lee Halfpenny had to do a lot of tackling last week against Racing, won him off. Ran around him in that first half in that round 5 game last week, and Benjamin Kaiser will prepare to throw this ball into the line out for Clermont.
Good exit set to get them settled into the game from Toulon. Happy to move the ball, shift the ball to their better kickers in Halfpenny.
Here come Clermont. Remy Lamarat. Radoslavich at scrum half, in for Morgan Parra. Parra, who played the first few games of the season, given a rest this afternoon. Toulon trying to force the turnover. Here's Wesley Fofana. He gets through the tackle. That's the 22-metre line. Playing fly half today for Clermont, Patricio Fernandez, the Argentinian. Big defence from Toulon from Valmahina. Sebastian Valmahina in for Samuel Manoa this afternoon, and deliberate knockdown, I think Pascal Gauzet is saying that.
Interesting first couple of phases from Clermont. I really think the fact that Stefan Armitage has moved on to Poe, there's a big hole to fill in terms of that ball retrieval, and that's willing to put their head in the middle of a ruck and try and compete for a ball that's perhaps not available. Liam Gill has to fill that void, and certainly fairly active at the first couple of breakdowns there. Really important role for him to play, so they can get the likes of their backs on foot from dangerous turnover ball. That's an ideal situation for Toulon to be in.
As the captain, Guillaume Garado, just gets some attention from the physio. They are missing a lot of players, aren't they, Tom? If you look at the injured forwards, such as Juan Smith, club captain, Dwayne Vermeulen, first choice number 8 last season. And then at the backs, the likes of Buster Ononu, Vincent Clerc, Gito, Ayumu Goromaru. This is a team that are really patched up right now.
They are patched up, but it's not a bad patchwork quilt to have made, is it? You know, you look at the two sole non-internationals in that backline of Joshua Tuisova and Axel Muller, arguably two of the standouts in the recent Rio Olympics.
So Fernandez with the first chance to pick up some points for Clermont. Nice left foot strike. So it's the visiting team, Clermont, have earned to pick up the points. Here's just another look at that.
Great tackle from Garado.
A tackle that he might have given himself a knock in, while he got some attention from the physio. Francois Tranduc will restart play. There's Damien Shuli. Damien Shuli. He's lost the top 14 semi-final 3 times, Shuli. For a team that's so used to winning, Tom, a team like Toulon, 3 European Cups, top 14 in recent years, their conversion rate in finals has been outstanding compared to Clermont's. What are these players feeling? How do they handle this unexpected pressure when they start a season 2 and 3?
I don't think they're actually that great at getting out the blocks in a season. I think that's largely due to the fact that they play so late on in pretty much every season. We know how long the top 14 seasons go on for. It affects their pre-season, and actually it affects their early season forward. However, you could say Clermont have a similar sort of problem, but it always seems to be that Toulon come right at a good time of the season. After Christmas, really important to build some momentum towards those final few months and weeks. They seem to nail it time and time again.
Sebastian Thielersboord playing scrum half for Toulon today. In for Jonathan Pellissier. There's Axel Muller, his 3rd start in a row for Toulon. Scored on debut against Toulouse. This is that head-to-head we were talking about, Tom. Last 5 seasons, all competitions. Toulon have reached 7 finals. Clermont 3. Toulon have picked up 4 trophies, of course, the 3 back-to-back European Cups in the top 14. Clermont with nothing. That sort of thing in the back of minds of players?
I think so. Certainly it has been for Clermont, hasn't it? I think it really affected them in the last couple of finals they played in. That belief.
Straight arm penalty to Clermont at scrum time.
Really important area of the game for these two sides. If they're to unleash their exciting backlines, they have to really fight up front, fight for that dominance. And one area of real importance, I think, today is that second row battle. TOP14 and Gorgodze against Varmina and Flip van der Merwe. 4 monsters.
Frank Azema, the Clermont head coach. Never one to give up too much of an expression. Frank Azema must be pretty happy with the way Clermont have started this game as they picked it deep into Toulon territory. Attacking lineouts for Les Jeunes. Comes down to Fernandez, and on the crash ball is Fofana. His midfield partner Lamarat lends some weight at the ruck. Scott Spedding to a Bendinen. Another little knock on there from Toulon. Nico Bendinen playing on the left wing today. Of course, a full-back usually.
He's been outstanding, hasn't he? A bit like Dave Strettel since their move to Central France. Really hit some form and outstanding for Clermont over the past couple of seasons.
What is it about Englishmen going to the top 14 and playing their best rugby, Tom?
Probably slightly better on the joints with the warmer weather, is it? I'm not sure.
Nico Ben scored a lovely solo try against Toulon in the 2015 Champions Cup final at Twickenham. That, of course, a game that Toulon went on to win. One of those converted finals we spoke about. Drew Mitchell, who's another player who's absent for Toulon at the moment, scored a fantastic solo try in that match. But more red zone ball here for Clermont-Auvergne. Unbeaten so far this season. 230 all draws. Away from home, they drew with La Rochelle and Stade Francais away from home. Beat Montpellier away. And then 2 big wins over Racing and Bordeaux back at the Stade Marcel Michelin. Finished the regular season top of the table last campaign as well, Clermont. But then, of course, got knocked out in extra time by Racing, eventual winners in the semi-final. And another decision at scrum time here from Pascal Galzer. This time it's gone in favour of the home side.
Bit of a lottery at scrum time. You can see from that field it's only late September and they've got a real problem at Toulon. Actually, the pitch is built on top of a car park, so it drained particularly well. So, you know, even at this time of year, it's probably mid-20s in terms of temperature, but the field does not drain as well as other places that we see throughout Europe. And that's why at scrum time it makes it so difficult.
Looks like he's got Aaron Jarvis, the Clermont tight head prop there, for bringing that one down. Marc Delmasso, scrum coach for Toulon, works alongside Jacques Delmas, looking after the forwards, and here come Toulon with some possession on their own patch. Gorgod back to Trandu, looks for the offload to Tuisolva. Can't quite get the ball away. Tearless board to James O'Connor, first touch for him. Wearing the red headgear today, O'Connor. His first appearance in Toulon colours this season. And coming back, the short side is the captain, Girardo. Gives it off to Marcel van der Merwe. 7 Springbok caps. Gorgodze. Mamuka Gorgodze, never afraid to hit the ball up. One of the leading tacklers in the top 14 is his fellow forward Liam Gill. His Tillis ball with a little dart. Bit of momentum here now for the home side. Crowd coming into it too. Xavier Chiocchi plays scrum half.
Great ball.
Trandu over the top. Olivon. Charles Olivon, the number 8 there, playing out on the wing. 3 tries for him so far this season. Here's Tafafanua. Tillesborg works the short side once more. James O'Connor steals another couple of metres. Here's Gorgodza. Gorgodza with the offload, but it's come off the boot of Chiocchi. But the referee, Pascal Galzer, will go back to a previous infringement, but much more like the Toulon we know that phase of play, Tom, mate.
Really difficult for Sainz to stop Toulon with the front foot. Incredible ball over the top. You just think Lee Halfpenny should have caught that. Didn't have to tip it on so quickly. If he'd taken that forward, caught the ball in two hands. It was a simple 2-on-1, which would ended up with Charles Olivon scoring in the corner. As it is, we come back for the penalty kick as we see some of the injured players from the Toulon squad having to watch on.
Yeah, there's Ayumu Goromaru, shot to fame in that Japanese side coached by Eddie Jones that beat South Africa. The 2015 World Cup. There's Duane Vermeulen on the left of Ma Nonu. Nonu, who got a head knock last week, has missed this game as a precaution.
That's the tip on I was talking about. There was no real need. Wasn't under a huge amount of pressure, Halfpenny. Those opportunities against a side like Clermont that need to be taken.
But Lee Halfpenny kicking over 90% in the top 14 this season. That's his second successful kick in 29 shots at goal. And it's all tied up at the Mayotte.
Pretty good start, I think, to the game, but also Toulon will be pretty happy with the way they kick into that. I think defended well, set the game up nicely to clear their lines, and then they've had a good phase of attack with good shape in behind. Mike Ford will be fairly interested about what he's seen, I think.
Yes, Mike Ford signed a contract on Thursday as a first-team coach. Apparently he's looking after the backs, the woods and defence.
It's pretty much everything. That's a difficult job, I think.
Yep.
Not quite sure what that means for the rest of the coaches. Feet up, maybe.
It's a lot of cooks in that two coaching kitchen, isn't it? But another penalty here at the breakdown for Toulon, and it's Charles Olivon who's getting the congratulations from his teammates there. Clermont player Alex Lapondry just getting isolated in midfield, so straight away another chance, one thing for Lee Halfpenny to add to the score sheet.
And you think he fancies that from anywhere around that sort of mark, doesn't he? Can't get isolated against, I think it was Guirado, was it, got back to his feet. Oh, actually, Chavant. Actually, a fantastic effort for such a big unit to get down over the ball. As you said, dangerous to get isolated against such good players. You have to be really precise with your body position, laying that ball back. Work really hard on the floor.
So Lee Halfpenny. About 45 metres out, just to the left of the uprights. Will attempt to put Toulon in front for the first time in this match. I'll tell the story. Another 3 points for Halfpenny and Toulon. Talk about Charles Olivon there, Tom. He's one of the top tacklers in the top 14. In fact, 3 of the leading tacklers in the top 14 this season are all Toulon players. Olivon, Gorgodza, Fernandez, Lobe. Does that tell you their defence is great? Not doing enough with the ball, so they're having to do a lot more tackling.
Probably that they've been under the cosh a fair bit, I would think. You know, when you see a stat like that, it's often slightly misleading. Certainly good to be making that number of tackles.
Fernandez Lobe climbing high again on that restart, slightly let go by his lifters there. Heavy fall for Fernandez Lobe. And here's Liam Gill. 15 caps for the Wallabies, Gill, all off the bench. Won a Super Rugby title for the Reds against the Crusaders in 2011. Cross kick in the direction Joshua Tuisolva, but bodies colliding and it's fallen dangerously for Clermont. But going back there is Radoslavich, the scrum half, to save the day. Here's Flip van der Merwe, former Blue Bull. Benjamin Kaiser playing hooker today for Clermont, but again at scrum time, at breakdown time rather, another penalty for Toulon. Tuisolva and Chiocchi there with the attention on the floor. And another chance at 3 points here for Toulon. There's that heavy fall there for Fernandez Lobe. It was lifted high by Chiocchi, but
on your own after that, wasn't it? Cheers, mate. I can't lift you anymore. That was lucky for Tuisova, I think. Just as I was watching that in full speed, it was one of those moments where you think, oh, if Abendinen goes into the catcher, maybe Tuisova is in a fair bit of trouble. But
good work at the breakdown there from Tuisova. It's the modern game of sevens, which is, of course, he's been playing. Winning a gold medal for Fiji at the Olympic Games teaches you it's work at the breakdown. And you notice the same thing with Axel Muller as well. Wingers who become extra loose forwards in that situation.
And I think it's one of the areas of the game, certainly within 15s, where players get isolated more, out towards the width. So if you can have good back three players, outside centres that are really tough over the ball, you know, if Tuisova gets over the ball, you're going to have to hit him pretty hard to move him off.
So Lee Halfpenny with another kick at goal, straight and true, no mistake whatsoever. So that's a 6-point lead now for Toulon.
Clermont just have to be careful here. Their discipline, it's clearly something they would have mentioned. You always mention someone like Halfpenny in your preparation week, someone that's got a kicking ability like him. Have to be just pay attention to their discipline in those areas where he can possibly have a shot.
Clermont have won the restart on that occasion. And here they come through Flip van der Merwe, but being pushed back by Tuisova. Once again is the fly half Fernandez. Physical start from Tuisova in this game, but again the decision comes. Well, Del Masso on the sideline there, looking on. Tuisova looked like he had really given Toulon again momentum at the breakdown there, but decision goes against them.
It just fought for a bit too long. But really, what a player he is. From when he signed at Toulon, and you speak to the guys that were there when he arrived, didn't speak much English, now's really a massive part of their side. And he's an absolute menace at the breakdown. Clearly still playing the ball on the ground though.
Yeah, second leading try scorer in the top 14 last season was Joshua Tuisova. He joined Toulon in 2013. 22 years old, picks up a gold medal in the summer in Rio for the Fiji Sevens. Here's Patricio Fernandez. He's also played a bit of sevens for Argentina. And he'll look to close the gap to 3 points here for Clermont. And that has missed to the right, so a let-off there for Toulon. And Joshua Tuisova.
You talk of the ball players, the way you can have James O'Connor in a side. If you can use the likes of Tuisova, put him into space, to defend against someone like that is an absolute nightmare. You don't know whether he's going to run over you, run round you, or actually use his hands.
And here he is, Tuisova, picking up that untidy ball from Toulon. Failed to take that on the full, a dangerous practice in the game of rugby union. And here's Olivon, the number 8. Tilis board continues toward his side. Fernandez Lobby. Roman Tafalfanua back in the starting 15 today for Toulon. And here's Liam Gill. Had to settle for a place on the bench last week. Trandu decides to go for distance with the kick. Falls just behind Scott Spedding, and a decent chase there from O'Connor, but Spedding's put it high back in the direction of Tilis Board. And here's Trandu, the fly half, and he runs it into contact, and he's looking for Tuisova, and lovely hands there from Halfpenny to give it off to O'Connor. Here's Chiocchi, the juggle, but he manages to hold on to it. They go quickly, Trandu to Gorgodza. Olivon there helping out Mamuka Gorgodza. Here's Trandu. Little pop pass to Maxime Mermoz, playing 12 today with Mar Nonu out of action after that head knock at Racing last week. Godza again. Several hit-ups from him already, but that pass from Tafalfanua has just gone past Mermoz. And it's Toulon who have the ball now, and Scott Spedding's gone for the chip over the top, but that has gone out on the full. And the referee's just called time off here. It's Fernandez Lobe, is it? No, it's the captain, Guillaume Guirado. Second time he's received some attention this week, and if you look at that injured list on screen there, you can see how important it is that these Toulon players stay on the field.
Some fairly big names and some fairly big salaries that aren't actually on that field, isn't there? In terms of what's missing, really the key for me, I think, for Toulon, Matt Guiteau gives them so much shape in their attack. Might be something that Mike Ford will look at over the next few weeks, the role of James O'Connor outside of Tranduc. Good decision maker, can slightly go off piste a bit, but adds to his game slightly. But as I say, if you can create a shape that allows other players to run into space when you've got the likes of Muller and Tuisova, so difficult for defensive units.
Yeah, it didn't go all that well for Bath in last season's Premiership, did it? But 2 seasons ago, when they got all the way to the final, they played some fantastic rugby that season. Mike Ford, a coach that likes to get his team playing rugby.
Yeah, and I think that's what the Toulon public will want to see. It's, I guess, slightly changing from where it was when I was back out there. Philippe Saint-André had a slightly different way of playing. It was all about the application of pressure and how that converts into points. But essentially, no one really cares how the game goes over there as long as you come away with a W. That's the most important thing.
And a win is hugely important for this Toulon side here today. On a 1-2 lost 3 record so far in their first 5 games. 2 weeks ago, red-faced after losing to Brive on their home patch. But here come Clermont on the wraparound near side here, and the little chip through was Radoslavich, and Lee Halfpenny patient enough to watch that ball trickle over the sideline.
Good set piece, Clermont, but that's one of the difficulties of playing at 13. James O'Connor slightly caught defensively. If you watch from this angle, gets caught biting in. Doesn't really have to do that on Fofana. Mermott's had him very easily covered. You've almost got to bide your time as a 13, wait for that inside to come, not step in, because then creates so much space and pressure on your wingers.
Attention on Wesley Fofana, a very dangerous player for this Clermont side. Guirado feeds the line out to Fafanua, wins it at the front. And here comes the Toulon line-out drive. Trying to suck in some of these Clermont forwards. Silas Board with the box kick. With the chase there, just had to check himself. Didn't want to get into dangerous territory. Aaron Jarvis hits it up for Clermont. And another penalty for Toulon. Discipline becoming a bit of an issue here for Clermont. Early in this game, Liam Gill, the key man for Toulon at that breakdown.
Certainly, first 20 minutes, Clermont very guilty of getting isolated, not accurate enough at the breakdown. It's giving Toulon real opportunity to get their teeth into this game and stretch their lead. It's an interesting go-kart thing, whatever that was.
Looks like a rocket ship. Well, Halfpenny might need a rocket here with this long ranger. Let's have another look at that hit up from Jarvis.
So they actually had quite good shape, but Lapondry slightly away from his ball carrying. He was supporting, trying to latch that ball carrier through the contact, the extra weight to get over the gain line. She got slightly disjointed from Jarvis there.
A lot of responsibility on the shoulders of Liam Gill with this Toulon side now, with Steph Armitage having moved on to Pau. Led turnovers in the top 14 last few seasons. Big shoes to fill. Halfpenny, you can tell by the groans from the crowd there, didn't make good contact with that one. Perhaps trying to hit it a bit harder than usual from long range, and that's hooked the left, so the score remains at 9 points to 3 to the home side. On a public, probably in danger, I would think, over the last few years of
just getting used to having two unbelievable kickers in their ranks. Just used to people knocking the ball over for fun. You know, the likes of Wilkinson and Halfpenny. It's a really they've been blessed with their kickers.
Tillisboard retrieves the dropout, and here is Halfpenny. Adrian Plante's gone off and been replaced by Benson Stanley for Clermont, but here's Liam Gill, who set up that penalty opportunity just earlier for Toulon. Tillisboard out to Van der Merwe. Van der Merwe with a bit of footwork on his front rower, Kaiser. Offload from Gorgodza. Here's James O'Connor. Tillisboard to Chiocchi. Round the back to Tranduk. Space here on the left here for Toulon. Here's Olivon, steps inside, still an opportunity. Can Olivon make it 4 for the season? Oh, yes, he can. Charles Olivon cannot stop scoring tries for Toulon.
Great finish from Olivon. You look at the work that Fernandez Lobby gave it to do. Gave the ball too early, Fernandez Lobby. And Olivon, fantastic finish from a big fella. But the ball from Tranduk was the one that really opened that play up. Really accurate. See the competition in the air that actually led to Damien Chouli struggling.
It was Olivon who helped win the ball.
That ball at the back from a prop, and it's that one, the killer blow. I thought Fernandez Lobby had blown it there. But really, that is a good finish. As soon as he backs himself there, by the way, he has to score that because he's got two players outside him.
I was going to say Axel Muller and Roman Tafafanua on his outside. Might have had a whoop. Olivon hadn't got there, but this is a player who clearly knows where the try line is. And 4 for the season already for the number 8. One of the real bright points for Toulon this season with the absence of Joan Smith and Dwayne Vermeulen.
Really good for the Toulon public as well to get a French favourite in their ranks. Olivon, big player for them. I'm sure there's a huge amount in that challenge, but we'll have to see.
Referee's just asking the Clermont physio here if the player's happy to continue. Damien Chouli.
Not sure he fancied the trot back underneath the post, actually. He's quite happy to wait there.
I think he's saying, well, you've got to. Charles Olivon scored against Bayonne, his former club, in the first round of the season away from home. Followed it up the following week away in the win against Pau, and then scored in the bonus win away at the Ernest Vallon against Toulouse. And here he is at home at the Mayol, scoring against Clermont. So Lee Halfpenny with the score at 4-3, with the chance to make it a 13-point difference. Halfpenny, no problem at all. It was Fofana who ran off the line to put pressure on him, but composure personified from the Wales and Lions fullback, Lee Halfpenny.
What a great start for Toulon after a spluttering first few games of the season, having only won 2 games, giving themselves a huge opportunity against the top 14 frontrunners in Clermont.
Again, just unable to bring down the restart, and Clermont have a chance to get some possession, having conceded that try. Xavier Chiocchi, who's penalised there at the breakdown. Sebastian Tillisboard just saying to his loose head prop there, leave it alone. Bit of a coach killer that, isn't it? You score a try at the other end, your fullback kicks the conversion, and you give away a penalty straight away after the restart.
Pretty frustrating. And I think you can see Sebastian Tillisboard's frustration there. It's that communication. You can always hear lads on their feet telling the people to let go of the ball when they've heard the call from the referee, or when they can see that they're crossing the line. You have to be aware and listen to everyone around you.
Getting high is Mamuka Gorgodze to steal at the line out for Toulon. A crucial win for his side under pressure. Thiele's ball back to Trunduc. Francois Trunduc will pick it high in the direction of Wesley Fofana. Here's Nicker Bendinen. Caught in the tackle for Mermont. James O'Connor. Here comes Benjamin Kaiser. Clermont come to the near side through Fofana. Toulon crowd calling for obstruction. Liam Gill again at the breakdown. Penalty's gone the way of Toulon. Once again, Liam Gill causing a lot of problems for this Clermont side at the ruck.
He's got the look of a real pain in the backside, hasn't he, when he runs around? He's fairly messy in the way he's just running around the place, being fairly destructive. And that's a hell of a kick. As we see Fernandez Lobby just shipping the ball onto Olivant. That's a good fend on Scott Spedding, because he is a big fullback.
Un peu trop de photos sol, souvent vous isolez, là c'est le joueur qui rentre sur le côté, les soutiens sont inefficaces, il faut absolument discipliner ce sol.
Discipline is the call from referee Pascal Galzer as the rain falls on the Mediterranean coast. Mamuka Gorgodze with a line-out turnover a few ago, which has ultimately resulted in Toulon having an attacking line-out of their own, but they've overthrown it, and Kaiser will bring it away for the visiting team.
Dedans.
So both sides showing a bit of inefficiency at the line-out.
It's a great kick from Lopez.
Cami Lopez on the field in jersey T1. This is Gorgodze with a turnover at the other end, and that was a big moment for his team. And then right back down the other end was the overthrow from Guillaume Garado.
Interesting when you see Radosavljevic picked this week for Clermont. Very similar player in Toulon scrum half. Thiele's board, stocky, like having an extra back row in around that breakdown. Big carriers.
And there is Thiele's board with the box kick. The chase from Tuisolva. Waits for a Bendinen to bring it down and then takes care of him, puts it at the sideline, and a little tap on the head to say,
sorry,
I'm here, mate, I'm around.
It's one of those things, as a winger, and you just know what's going to happen, don't you? Oh no, he's going to be right next to me when I catch this ball.
Yeah, I guess in the old days, before they brought Pilours in, you thought you might have been in trouble in the air, but you know now you can bring it down safely, but you know, moments later, that hit is coming.
Yeah.
Garado looking for a better time at line-out time. Bit untidy for Toulon, but they do win it, and Tuisolva runs into the Clermont loose forward Bardi and bumps him off. Here's Gorgodze under the attention of Flip van der Merwe. Trunduc to the near side, bit of a hospital ball's a halfpenny, and it's gone forward, and it'll try to chip it over the top, but it's bounced off a Toulon player, so messy from both sides here, but Fofana in a little bit of space. Important tackle from Garado. Flicks off the floor from Chuli. It's Fernandez, and yeah, the referee will blow it up and bring it back. Got to be a knock on in there somewhere.
Period of play that just seemed to be getting uglier as it went on. Certainly rattled Clermont, hasn't it, this start from Toulon?
Seem to be playing with a lot of pace on the ball, don't they? Not doing everything efficiently. A couple of problems at line-outs, but when they get the ball, playing with a lot of intensity, a lot of high tempo.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that Toulon will be very aware of. As you see, a massively aggressive carry. You don't often see wingers knocking back rowers over. But Toulon will be very aware that once the speed goes up in the game, that's where Clermont like to be, because they have skill levels, the players to be able to cope with that and to expose space.
10 changes for Clermont from the team that won at home with the bonus point last week to Bordeaux-Bègles. And a free kick at the scrum to Toulon. Raphael Schoen starting on the loose head side for Clermont today, and that's the high ball from Tranduc, and that's been spilled by Fernandez. Play on, says the referee. Went back. Here's Fofana. They'll try to counter here. Lamarat and Abendinen. Nick Abendinen with a smart left foot kick down the tram lines, and it's Halfpenny who will track back and kick it out. So a good net gain there from Clermont.
It was not exactly they wanted to get out with that drop ball, but certainly when you've got players like Nick Abendinen out in that width, you know you can shift the ball out there where perhaps there's a bit more space and they can run the ball out and then kick. So it's a good tool to have at your disposal.
You see a lot of that these days, don't you? Fullbacks playing on the wing. You see the likes of Israel Dag and Ben Smith do it for the All Blacks. Here come Clermont. Nick Abendinen, nice little line from him coming in off the left wing. Radoslavljevic with the wraparound and a nice hit there from Xavier Chiocchi, and the ball's gone down and players are going to go down here. You could hear that contact. In that one it was Chiocchi on Ludovic Radoslavljevic, and referee will call time off here while both players get some attention.
Two similar shaped players as well, but that, it's not what you want on Sunday, that, is it?
Oh, totally unintentional from Chiocchi, wasn't it? But it was definitely noggin on noggin.
They've both done pretty well to be standing so quickly after that.
You assume that the prop might have a slightly harder head than the scrum half, but Radoslavljevic is
built to last.
Not what you call a small number 9.
Check out the size of his shorts next time. They'll fit the batty.
Xavier Chiocchi, local boy, Toulon Academy. 5 caps for France, and there will be a change here, it looks like. Yeah, Chiocchi's going to go off and get some attention, perhaps an HIA, head injury assessment, after that knock. And
good spot actually from Chiocchi. He's moved off from that player running the decoy line and picked up Radoslavljevic really nicely, but you see, just went in a bit too high and fairly horrible clash of heads. Both look to be okay though.
So Laurent Delboul will come on to replace Chiocchi on the loose head side for Toulon.
Flexion. Lié.
And another decision at the scrum for Clermont. Very decisive Pascal Gauzet with how he's handing out these penalties at scrum time. He doesn't seem to like a reset. Gets on the whistle pretty early. Marcel van der Merwe, you would expect that from any tight head prop. He's just been penalised. Looks rather confused.
It's the standard expression, isn't it, after post-scrum?
As we go in the Toulon dressing room, Chiocchi will get a bit of attention. A bit of a cut there to the left cheek.
Yeah.
And there's Scott Spedding, who's sitting down already for Clermont. Cami Lopez and Benson Stanley already out there for the visiting side. So a couple of injuries for both teams here early in this match. There's Nicolas Fernandez. Patricio Fernandez, rather, will kick for goal. No mistake that time. So important points for Clermont, having scored the first penalty in this match. Some much needed points for the visiting side.
Yeah, the last few minutes just descended into a bit of toing and froing with no side really having the ascendancy or having any sort of shape to talk of. Be a good 3 points for Clermont just to come away with and try and reset the dials and get back into their plays.
Attendez deux, stop deux.
As the rain continues to fall here
Touché.
in Toulon. That ball tied Toulon player, so that'll go over for a Clermont throw. Really is heavy rain, not used to these sort of conditions this time of year down there on the Mediterranean coast. Both teams having to adapt. Toulon have clearly shown and they want to play with the ball in hand. Perhaps these conditions they'll have to make a few adjustments. Benjamin Kaiser throws it to Bahamahina, but that's gone to floor, and it's Garado with the heads-up play to bring it down for Toulon. That's the 22-metre line. 10-point lead for the home side. Tafafanua with the pick and go. Olivon helps him out.
Restez là deux.
As Marcel van der Merwe picks and drives down the short side.
Blanc, restez, c'est bon.
Perhaps given the conditions, they're going the pick and go here. Toulon. Fernandez Lobe plays scrum half and gives it off to van der Merwe once more. Bahamahina with the tackle for Clermont.
Non, restez, reculez, 6.
Referee says to the Clermont players, get onside. Here's Tafafanua once more. Good attacking position now for Clermont. They switch it to the near side. Here's Trunduk to Halfpenny, to O'Connor, to Axel Muller. Axel Muller almost stands up Wesley Fofana there, but he holds onto his bootlaces and sliding in. Here's Gorgodza. Here's Fernandez Lobe, just 7 metres out now for Toulon.
Restez là.
Crowd begin to roar. Tilas Board driven back by Bahamahina. Here's Garado, who made it all happen with that turnover at the line-out. Gorgodza shifts it across to van der Merwe.
These half-yard gains from Toulon, really important, giving them the front foot. We see Gorgodza again.
Garado, he has a turn. Crawling another few metres for Toulon. Tilas Board, like another loose forward behind the back from van der Merwe, off to Muller. Can Muller make it? Just in touch.
We talk about the close quarter stuff, but that from van der Merwe was brilliant. So easy for him to just carry that ball into contact, but fully aware of where the space would be. That's what changed it, that moment from Fernandez Lobe to go blind, and Fofana did brilliantly there to tag onto the bootlaces of Muller.
Smart from Toulon, isn't it? Rain's coming down, need to adjust, lots of short passes, lots of pick and goes, be patient, and well, Al Heyman would be proud of that one, wouldn't he?
Carl would have carried it into contact. That was brilliant. Really stood Lamarat up, and that allowed the ball to Trunduk to get him into the space behind the defender. Good covering defence. Clermont defenders in the end, but it's the little moments like that, the change of direction from Fernandez Lobe was what injected the pace into the play.
Xavier Chiocchi has had some running repairs. There's another look at the van der Merwe flick pass behind the back. Trunduk just held up the defence a little, cut out Halfpenny, and Muller thought he might have been in for his second try of the season. So important line out here for Benjamin Kaiser and Clermont have earned. 16-6 they trail Toulon.
Deux sortez.
There's Radoslavich will kick from the base in the direction of Muller, and Muller can't quite bring that one down. It was a good chase there from the replacement Judicial Cansourier, and perhaps the Argentina 7-star had a bit of a look there, puts that one down.
He looked pretty set there, didn't he? It was a fairly innocuous sort of kick.
Soit vous réglez rapidement,
Perhaps not something that he's been used to so much over the past few months.
Yeah, Axel Muller, another attendee at the Rio Olympic Games. You don't get many box kicks in the game of sevens, though. So, opportunity to breathe here for Toulon, under a lot for Clermont, under a lot of pressure there with that Toulon attack, and they'll set this scrum just on the Toulon side of the 10-metre line. Popping up in the scrum is Aaron Jarvis, and it wheels around, and the referee will give the penalty to Clermont. He's got Toulon for wheeling deliberately there.
Really doesn't want to reset, does he? Fairly messy affair, that scrum. But quite good that the set piece has been dealt with accurately, I suppose. You know, if he's going to decisively, I think probably is the word I'm looking for.
Here's another look at it. On the near side here was the Welshman Aaron Jarvis, who popped up first. That's possibly the first offence, but the wheeling he gets Toulon for. And well, Martin Fernandez-Lobe with a bit to say. One of the real leaders of this Toulon side. End product is Clermont line out inside the Toulon 22. Last time they were here, it was turned over. Kaiser goes short. It's Flip van der Merwe who climbs high at the front of the line out for Clermont. There's Jarvis. In control at the back of the line out, coming through is Tafal Fanua, tries to force the turnover, but it's... Thought the ball went over the sideline. The players are playing the breakdown, but the ball's been thrown in from the sideline. Complete confusion. Referee couldn't see the ball. I think the referee's assistant needs to step in here and tell the referee where the ball is. End product half-time, 16-6. Toulon lead. And there was the ball there. It was Tafal Fanua, kicks it over the sideline. Everyone thought the ball was still in play. Bit of confusion from both teams. Common sense resumes eventually. It's half-time at the Mayol, and it's Toulon who have the lead. Charles Olivon with his 4th try of the season. 16-6, Toulon lead. We'll check out the highlights after the break. Dominated possession, 51 to 49%, but they do trail Toulon by 10 points as we get underway for this second half. And here come Clermont through Benjamin Kaiser. Ludovic Radosavljevic will clear it to the touchline.
Be interesting for Mike Forder, because it must be an exciting proposition coming into a club where there's so many high-quality players. But you know, if you listen to what some of the noises have been coming out of the Toulon camp over the past couple of seasons, it's the players that have been almost playing the way they wanted to play. So is he going to have that influence on a side that has been used to that over the past few years? You know, they've had the likes of Johnny Wilkinson and Matt Giteau to run that backline, to run that team shape. Will that change?
Here's Liam Gill, one of the standouts from the first half. To Gorgodze. Also plenty of hit-ups and a nice offload from Guerrero to Tran-Duc. Here's James O'Connor, his first appearance of the season for Toulon. Got a turnover there at the breakdown for Clermont. Radosavljevic will kick it deep back into Toulon territory, and it's Axel Muller who's got to track back, but that ball has bounced back over his head, and Fernandez-Lobe has found himself in the right place. Ball's just trickled out the back of the ruck there, and Tran-Duc got a shout from someone saying the ball's out of the ruck, Francois. Maxime Mermoz will play scrum half, and Romain Tafal Fanua, who is lively at line out and pick and go time for Toulon in that first half, but he hasn't been able to retain possession there, and it was Mermoz who came in with halfpenny to try and secure the ball, but they couldn't do it, and it's a happy Frank Azima, the Clermont coach there, picking up a kickable opportunity inside Toulon territory early in the second half.
Pretty sloppy from Toulon to start that first couple of minutes of the second half. From the turnover, to the retrieval of the kick. Axel Müller retrieving or turning and being caught out by the ball and the bounce. Everything would just seem to break down. It started pretty well, but from the moment that ball turned over, under pressure.
He came the near side here. It was James O'Connor who took it into contact, and that was Toulon at the far end under his own posts, and good work at the breakdown from Clermont. So Camille Lopez takes over the kicking duties from Patricio Fernandez, and Lopez kicked 17 points against Montpellier in round 2 this season, and he makes no mistake for that one. So 16-9 already, 3 points taken off the difference by Clermont.
Pretty 3 points as well. 16-9 will just give them a bit more of a sniff of an away win. Breathe life into their attack.
Clermont, of course, unbeaten so far this season. The only team to remain without a loss in the top 14 this campaign. That's Remy Lamarat with the go forward, and Benson Stanley, who came on early in that second half off the bench. Bring out his midfield partner, Tran Duke, with a safe pair of hands under that box kick. And here's Tuisolva. Tuisolva slipping in the tackle. Golgodza with yet another hit up, makes a couple of yards. That's the halfway line. Chiocchi, little offload to Olivon. Try scorer Olivon from that first half. And here's Tran Duke. Looks inside, but goes out wide to Liam Gill. Liam Gill very effective at the breakdown for Toulon so far in this match. Toulon back to his fly half. Here's a bit of space for O'Connor, flings a slightly floated pass, and it's knocked on by Tuisolva, but I think it drifted forward initially, perhaps in these wet conditions, just slipping in the hands of O'Connor there.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a good ball from Tran Duke, but that one didn't quite come out as it was supposed to. You talk about the little half yards that Golgodza's making, that Olivon's been making. They make such a difference to the players out in those wide channels. 2 yards in the middle can be 5, 6, 7 yards out wide. It makes it so much easier to run onto the ball. So those hard yards so important for the front 5 to make.
No shortage of penalties in the first half at scrum time. Pascal Gauzet, the referee, not afraid at all to give straight arm penalties or free kicks. And as we see it again, I don't think there's been one reset so far in this game. It's been you either win it or I'm blowing my whistle.
And I'm not sure he was that convinced that he was going the right way there, was he? Looked to try and give it to Toulon and then to mind.
And interestingly, Clermont have opted for another scrum feed here. So there will be a reset, but it will be because of a free kick. Let's flip Bandem over there in vision for Clermont. Vastly experienced player. 37 Springbok caps, bit of an enforcer for this Clermont side. He won the 2010 Super Rugby final against the Stormers for the Bulls. Made his test debut against France in 2010. Front rows coming up at that scrum, but Clermont with the go forward, dummy and shoot. And on that occasion, the referee says we'll have a reset. And a chat.
Non, juste les deux de mon côté. Vous, venez me voir. 3.
1 red, 3 white is the call. So it's Chiocchi and Jarvis who are going to come together and have a little private conversation.
No, I can't. Yeah. Bon, c'est bon, j'ai pas besoin de vous. Vous, le problème, soit vous décalez, soit votre liaison est pas bonne. Donc ça, il faut le rectifier de suite. Hein? Plus loin la liaison et on prend l'appui. You have to be straight. Long by and say straight, no angle. That's fine? D'accord? On a compris?
Well, I got what he said to Aaron Jarvis. What did he say to Xavier Chiocchi, Tom?
Something about twisting round and going back. And maybe he's just shuffling to the side, I think. There's all sorts going on in there, isn't there? But so difficult for referees when You chat to any front rower and they're like, yeah, that's pretty much what the referees are deciding on, isn't it? Headed hands, that one. I'll go for that reason.
From Mura Bougelal, Toulon president. Game resumes.
Far side.
Better scrum from Toulon that time, but Clermont come away with it through Radoslavich. Here's Nika Bendinen, who's drifted over to the far side, and Fofana, who's popped up on the wing over there, is adept at playing either in midfield or on the wing, and they've driven Fofana deeper into Toulon territory, but it's gone over the touchline, so it'll be a Clermont line-out.
James O'Connor defending much better in those wider channels there. Here, Huffman, he didn't really need to get involved, but still, they did a good job getting him into touch. Thought Fofana was going to get away with that for a moment.
Wesley Fofana, 41 caps for France. Such a gifted player, isn't he? I doubt we've seen the best of him so far at international level. Real talent. Garado. Falfanua at the front of the line-out for Toulon, and Garado joins at the back of the maul. And Tilis Board has to rip it off his captain, and he kicks it deep. And it's gone into the Clermont half, and the crowd like that. Don't go for the box kick and chase on that occasion. Kick it long and kick it out.
That's what you expect from Tilis Board week in, week out. Great sort of set-piece game. His passing skills, his pop passes to those forwards in and around the breakdown, and his kicking game, really consistent.
Marcel van der Merwe's day is done. Levan Chilichava, the Georgian, coming on to replace him on the tight head side. Perhaps that will change the interpretation at scrum time. There is Diego Dominguez in the centre of that shot, the head coach for Toulon. But for how much longer? Here's Liam Gill. Tilis Board to Mermoz. Mahina takes him down. Here's Olivon. Olivon running into Bardi, who'd spent some of that first half off the field with a few running repairs. Here's Chilichava. Picks it up and drives for Toulon. His first touch, Trandu. Back to Mermoz. There's a good tackle coming in there from Flip van der Merwe, and the ball's loose from Tranduc, and it'll get towed ahead by Clermont. And it's Joshua Tuisoba who has to run deep into his own territory here. And Tuisoba, not known as a kicker, but a handy one on that occasion. But Clermont will go quickly. Fernandez on the switch play to Abendenham, but a good chase and tackle from Tilis Board. Crowd don't like something. Damian Shuley runs into Gorgodza. Gorgodza doesn't let him go any further. Another high kick from Clermont. And it's Fernandez Lover who tracks back and takes the mark.
Good kick from Tuisoba. It's not necessarily his first option. His first choice is obviously to run with his strengths, but good clearance from him.
Charles Olivon. Some attention there, ran into Bardi. Just copped a little loose arm around the chops there from Damian Shuley. Required a bit of attention from the physio, but he's up on his feet, no harm done.
You look at that Toulon back row, who they can mix and match from week to week. Some real athletes in there that can get over the gain line, that can expose space, and really shift when they need to in those open channels.
Both tight head props replaced. Aaron Jarvis coming off for Clermont. Clermont Rick joins the fray. Lee Halfpenny, very steady first half from him, both with kick meters and kicking at goal. And Mamuka Gorgodze, well, what a season he's having so far. Unaccustomedly playing in the second row, quite often likes a run on the blind side, but he really has been at the heart of all the good things that Toulon have done so far this season. Lopez to Stanley. Benson Stanley, nephew of Smoke and Joe Stanley, who won a World Cup for the All Blacks in 1987. Here's Lopez with the show and go. Lopez running at the line, gets through and dishes it off to Chaume. Chance on the right here for Clermont. They Lamarat. Good passage of play this for Clermont-Auvergne. Here's the replacement Rick. Runs into Gorgodze, tries to hold him up. Radosavljevic off to Lopez again. To Stanley in the headgear, short ball to Fernandez, who shifted out into the midfield. Lopez again making a difference for this Clermont side. Shuley to Abendinen to Lamarat. Can Lamarat get past Muller? Flicks it inside. Gorgodze tried to grab it, so did Olivon, but that's gone forward, and Charles Olivon's gone down and has not moved. He took a knock before.
Again, clashing heads there with Gorgodze just as the ball went over the top. So dangerous in attack. His reading of a defence is unbelievable. Can spot space, knows how to put a ball into that space. That's Liam Gill, who took a nasty little bump from Stanley, got his head on the wrong side. I'm not sure he knew exactly where he was either. Just here, boom. Not quite sure what that was.
Well, with Ryan Smith and Dwayne Vermeulen out of action at the moment, long for Toulon, they can ill afford to lose another number 8. And he has been outstanding for them, Charles Olivon, so far this season. But this will really begin to test their wealthy resources if they were to lose Olivon in this match, and he does not look well, the former Bayonne man. Moving around, I don't think it's serious, but with that knock he took just a few moments ago, to back that up with another one, you think they might have to look to the bench here, Toulon. They look a better side, don't they, Clermont, Tom, with Lopez and Stanley in that 10 and 12 position, with Fofana as well. Look to have a bit more creativity and spark with the ball in hand.
I'll tell you what, the person to worry about here is actually Liam Gill. Took a big hit further back up the play, but anyone's spotted him. He's been tottering about through those final phases. Just saw it there.
There is Gill getting at attention. So Gill, yep, looks like he is going to go off for a head injury assessment here. As you said, his legs were looking a bit wobbly, so with Olivon walking off the field to be followed by Liam Gill, there's Olivon. Gill will go off as well, so they've got Samu Manoa and Wande Kriya on the bench, and I think they're going to have to use both of them here, Toulon. There it is again. It was just a fairly innocuous little knock, wasn't it, from Abendinen in contact. Olivon, well, he'll be given 10 minutes to pass the head injury assessment test, as will Liam Gill.
Liam Gill will be their biggest concern. Certainly two very good players to come in replacement.
Yeah, perhaps not similar positions, but Wande Kriya, well, he is an experienced player. And actually was extremely influential in Clermont getting knocked out of the top 14 last year in that brilliant, epic semi-final and added extra time against Racing 92 in Brittany. It was Wande Kriya who came up with the intercept to set up Juan Imhoff for the runaway try in extra time. Dan Carter stepped up, kicked the conversion, and that was the end of Clermont's season. So they have the line out, do Clermont, but a bit untidy, spews out the back, and this is Lamarat in midfield, and going in for the turnover as Mermoz, can't quite win it. And Benjamin Kaiser in the tackle of Tran Duke. Radosavljevic, and round the corner comes the replacement, Clermont Rick. Opportunity here for Clermont in the Toulon red zone. Lopez, he's been exciting since he's taken the field. Can't get through that time. Throw down tackle there from Wande Kriya, and I think it's an advantage for Clermont for a dangerous tackle for that reason. That was on Lapondry. So a bit of a free hit for Clermont. 52 minutes gone. They trail Toulon by 7 points. Lopez goes the cross kick. Can he get it on the hands of Patricio Fernandez? Yes, he can. And that is a try for Clermont. They had the advantage. Lopez said, I'll give it a go on the left boot. And it's Fernandez who brings it down, and he scores a much-needed try for the visitors.
That's a shot for nothing from Lopez. Knew he had the advantage, as you said, but pinpoint accuracy. Brilliant since he's come on, putting the ball into space, and he's done it again. He's found exactly the right space for Fernandez, and I'm not sure James O'Connor's in the best up shape there, having landed and rolled his ankle.
Almost like watching a game of NFL there, wasn't it? It was like a wide receiver trying to catch the long throw from the quarterback, and then we cut to the celebration from Lopez, and well, what a play from him. He has turned this game since coming on, Cami Lopez, and has a chance here from the sideline to tie up this ball game. So Lopez makes good contact, and does that sneak inside? Yes, it does. So Cami Lopez sets up the try for Fernandez and then kicks the conversion from the sideline. And it's 16 apiece at the Mayol.
They fully deserved it. Clermont been outstanding in terms of their shape, and that's largely down to Lopez. Some real dynamism that he's added to the side, both up front, use those forwards in and around those close quarters, but then pushing the ball into the space when needed.
So it was 16-6 at half-time. It's now 16-all. Work to do for Toulon at home. Can they handle the responsibility here on their home patch? Tranduk with a fairly ordinary sort of kick for Tuisova, but it's been brought down by Radoslavich, and Lapondry plays scrum half. There's Lopez again to Stanley, who flicks it on the far side to Shuley, and Fernandez, the try scorer, chips and chases. A tip for Fernandez. Has he scored another one? I think he has. And Patricio Fernandez has stunned Toulon again here. And Clermont are in front.
Amazing piece of individual skill this time from Fernandez. The chip over the top. Again, it's that ball there from Lopez. And there's a great piece of skill from Fofana to sit Axel down, but that's a brilliant piece of skill to keep the ball infield, chase it. Don't underestimate how difficult that skill from Fofana is to execute under a huge amount of pressure. It's almost like a pressure release valve, sorry. You can either die with the ball there, or as soon as you get that ball away, it's almost like the pressure is released and it's completely flipped on the other side. And that's almost a reflection of how Toulon are feeling now.
Sebastian Thielesbourg sitting down, and Lopez, can he add to the Clermont lead here? Just misses to the right, but well, what a try from Clermont. Benson Stanley with the cutout pass. Fofana with the flick on to Shuley. Shuley got around Manoa, flicks it back inside to Fernandez. And there's only one way he can score this try, Tom May. And he executes it perfectly.
Brilliant piece of skill. Shifted out due to the arrival of Lopez has been brilliant.
So, 21-16 to Clermont. A raise of the eyebrows from Diego Dominguez. Several of them, in fact. He's looking like a man who needs to come up with an idea here to get his team, get a message down there about how to get back in front here. 5 points the difference here, having led 16-6 at half-time. It's 16-20, yet to win a game at home, of course. Toulon this season. This is only their second game at the Mayol this campaign. But if they don't get the points here, you'd imagine the Mayol crowd will get on the back of their side and their coaching staff. But a good scrum there from the forward pack, taking matters into their own hands, giving them an opportunity here to try and close the gap on Clermont.
Anti-blanc d'abord, faute, première faute, blanc. Faute blanc.
Hit the nail on the head though, Rupert. It
Première
won't
faute
take
ici,
long for this
Didier.
crowd to really start getting into this Toulon side, and for that man to start voicing a couple of his frustrations, no doubt, as well.
He's on his feet. Cut away to Mike Ford. Signed a contract on Thursday. Gets underway Monday morning. And that's the story that's unfolding here. Murat Boujela said during the week that Diego Dominguez's job was not under threat, but if you go away and hire the first team coach during the week, what does that tell you?
Especially when he's looking after everything. Attack, defence and game plan. What does that say? What message does that give to Dominguez? You know, where do you fit in? We've already had problems between Del Maso and Delmas.
But Lee Halfpenny has a chance here to close it to 2 points. 90% plus goal kicker this season, Lee Halfpenny. Crowd will tell the story. And that's more of a murmur than a cheer as it drifts to the right. So 2 misses in a row for Halfpenny. Remains at 21-16. Reinforcements for Toulon. This is Anthony Etriard who's coming on, but yes, his last couple of kicks hasn't quite made that contact we're used to seeing with him, Tom.
No, he's not the type of guy that you would think would miss too many on the bounce. His technique. They're the sort of kicks in games like this that he needs to nail.
Looks like James O'Connor's day is done as well as Liam Gill is back on the field. Having passed his head injury assessment, one day career will sit back down. And here is Gill giving off to Samuel Manoa, the former Northampton Saint, represented the US Eagles at the World Cup last year. And here's Tafalfanua with the offload to Gill. That was exactly the sort of play that worked for them in the first half, Toulon. Etriard at the back of this maul. More reinforcements for Toulon. Can they get the driving maul going? It's Manoa now with the ball in control at the back. Fernandez Lobe lends his as they pass it back. Driving deep into Clermont territory. Clermont forward pack breaks up and here comes Trandu to Gorgodze. Gorgodze, pass it is the call from the sideline, but he holds on. T.S. Board swings it across to Fernandez Lobe. Here's Manoa once more with the offload, back to Lobe. But the penalty decision leaving their feet are Toulon. And a let-off there for Clermont, it's got to be said.
A let-off there for Clermont, but need to be more patient. That was probably the ball that should have gone. Did a pretty good job on Nick Abenden and no Gorgodze. That's where they need to be patient. Be really accurate. Don't give away a penalty in the opposition 22. But just as that penalty was given away, sorry Rupert, the boos and the whistles started to come in.
A few words being said between Francois Tranduc and Maxime Mermoz. They're a team under pressure, Toulon. 5 points the difference into the final quarter of this match. Shuley with an efficient line out for Clermont. Here's Stanley on the wraparound is Lopez. Juggles and Fofana with a nice line, but it's Mermoz with an important tackle around the bootlaces. A little chip through for Abenden, but that will safely go over the sideline for Tuisolva. As Matt Gitto looks on, and boy, this team missing him at the moment. A 75% win record with him in the side, 55% without him. That tells the story, Tom, mate.
It does. He gives them so much in terms of their game plan, their attack certainly. To attack today for Clermont, Lopez has been outstanding. He's willing to put the ball into space through the hands, but also the use of the boot. You see, just taking the sting out of what Toulon have. Happy to apply pressure when needed.
One-day career, now a permanent replacement on Roman Tafalfanua. You talk about Camille Lopez, former Bordeaux Begler, played 86 games for them, moves on to Perpignan for a little while. Started both of the finals, top 14 and Champions Cup against Toulon into 15. Camille Lopez lost both of those, but as you say, Tom, he really has made a massive difference to this Clermont. Coming on here, a bit of a free run for him in that position with Brock James moving on to La Rochelle. Clermont to learn. 21-16, they lead Toulon. Attacking line out for them. Well taken out of the back by Lapondry, and he spins and goes out of the tackle of Lobé. Little dart and go from Jadraziak in the number 18 shirt there for Clermont-Auvergne. Ball taken in. Collapse ball won by Toulon. Good defensive work there for the home team.
Yeah, and a bit of a let-off for them. They'll want to shift this ball up the other end of the field pretty quickly. Both sides needing to cut their errors down now.
Just a few details of the rugby that's coming your way on Sky Sports. Highlight show if you miss any of the live action of the top 14 from round 6. 6 o'clock Tuesday night, Sky Sports 3. You can also, of course, watch that at your leisure on demand. Clermont-Casse next Saturday afternoon on the Sky Sports Mix channel. Clermont looking very good at home at the moment. Casse with an important home win this weekend. And then Brive will host the champions Racing 92 Saturday night. Red button behind Sky Sports 5. Racing falling to Castres this weekend. Dan Carter actually going off in that game with an injury. They'll be hoping he's okay. A couple of road games in a row for Racing 92.
Important couple of games coming up for Toulon as well. Should they lose this game, they then have to play against Montpellier and La Rochelle.
Scrum collapses, no decision from the referee. Thilis Board goes the short side, chips through for Tuisova, but expertly held to is Charlie Kassang, and he's hit there by Tuisova over the sideline, and felt that one, the replacement scrum half. Seeing he's over the sideline here, play will probably continue, but that was a heavy tackle over the touchline. Here he is, the replacement, in vision, did well to track back and get it, turned the corner. He got past one tackle, was actually over the line, but then it was Tuisova who came through with the hit. I don't think it was late, Tom, but it was definitely felt.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything Tuisova could have done. He's caught him pretty high, but I think also the fact that there's artificial turf down next to the field that Mayor hasn't helped. Just saying, spend a bit of time with some running repairs.
Yep, brave stuff from the 21-year-old to get up from that. He'll go off for a check. Spent last season on loan to Bayonne, did young Charlie Kassang. So the replacement, Toulon hook. Etriard feeds that line out. Here's Manoa, hits it up in midfield. Knocked down by Bardi. And Thilis Board with another kick from the base. And reads it well coming in off his wing. He turns the corner and runs into contact. That's the halfway line we're looking at. Petz puts it on the left boot, high in the direction of Halfpenny. Lee Halfpenny. Very safe work from the Toulon fullback. Thilis Board sees an opportunity. Here's Trundu. Can they get something going here? Toulon, bit of space to work in for Tuisova. Flings it back to Mermoz, but that goes to ground. So, change of possession. Here's Stanley for Clermont. Inside from Fernandez. 2 tries in the second half for Patricio Fernandez. But good work at the breakdown there from Levan Chilichava, the Georgian. Winning an important turnover there for Toulon.
An important turnover, but Toulon at the moment just killing themselves in some ways. Forcing passes as Fernandez Lobé down this near touchline, and then Tuisova with an offload to Trundu that wasn't on. Just need to be a lot more patient in their build-up play.
Fine take under pressure from Lee Halfpenny. Here's the moment you're talking about, Tom. You felt this was 50-50?
Yeah, you know, it's one of those... On the contact, just go through the floor. Mermots wasn't ready for it. She thought it was Tranduk, but it was Maxime Mermots coming on that inside line. Sometimes really difficult as a support player when you're thinking that someone's going to go to ground and they force an offload. That's when the mistakes come in.
Looks like Francois Tranduk's running towards the sideline to be replaced by Pierre Bernard. Tranduk with a wave to the crowd. A little bit of a limp on there as well. Liam Gill, we saw a play of him putting in another heavy tackle. He's been in the wards today, Liam Gill. Francois Tranduk started every game this season for Toulon. Moved over, of course, from Montpellier, his lifelong club in the summer. And here come Toulon, Chilichava. I'm sure that wasn't meant for him, but he does well at the back of the line out to bring it down for Tuisova, coming in off his wing. Little dart close to the Rutilis board, keeping the defence honest, and Liam Gill does likewise. Pick and drive is the story here for Toulon. But it's Benjamin Kaiser over the ball, but no, the advantage is coming for Toulon. And they win the penalty in a very kickable position. I thought Kaiser might have got himself in a good spot there. He comes with the ball. Decision's gone the other way.
Fairly confusing, I think. There's some confusion from the touchline as well, but really important opportunity here for Toulon. They look to be in some disarray, don't they? We talk about the pressure that's coming on to Toulon from all areas. And in terms of that decision, fairly self-explanatory, 3 points you would think.
Well, they've turned it down, Tom. Fernandez Lobe, he's the on-field captain with Garado on the bench. And he says, I'm confident men can win this line out and we can pick up more than 3 points.
And if they do pick up more than 3 points, then you'd think that would
be better than 3.
Yeah, be better than 3, but the crowd would come back to life as opposed to being on their backs.
Yeah,
it takes that element of the pressure away from them.
Wasn't the tightest of line-outs, but they have held on to it. A Triard with their head up there. Time it's Gill again. Liam Gill, he'll be high on a lot of stats for Toulon today. Tias board, almost with a fumble, but he goes with a dart, and it's a turnover, is it? But no advantage coming for Toulon. Crowd are calling for a yellow card as these penalties mount up against Clermont. Damien Shirley, with a smile on his face, just comes to have a little word to Pascal Galzer, perhaps calm things down. Time is the referee.
Going back to the situation that Toulon find themselves in. Home against Montpellier and then away at La Rochelle. That's a tough couple of weeks coming up, and it could be a baptism of fire for Mike Ford. You know, should they lose this going into those 2 games, there's a tremendous amount of pressure on him to get the results he needs immediately.
Yeah, it was Benjamin Kaiser he got for not rolling away there, made the tackle on Liam Gill. Referee said he didn't do enough to get away quickly. So here's Toulon, Etriard with the line out. Wande Krier, the Springbok, brings it down. They shift it to the back of the maul, as you need to do with the new rules, and here is Etriard, the replacement hooker, at the back. Clermont deal with it, however. Up to this point. They did this against Toulouse a couple of weeks ago, did Toulon. Went the line-out drive with the penalty opportunity. It's come out the back, it's Tuisova, but there's a knock-on at the maul there, and the face of Jacques Delmas is frustrated on the sideline. If you turn down your 3 points at goal, you've got to make sure you make it pay, and they've coughed it up, have Toulon.
That could be a crucial knock-on. And there's nothing worse when you've made that decision twice to go to the corner, to then be really sloppy and just turn that ball over.
You mentioned it, Tom. They've got a tough road to hoe, this Toulon side. Next week they're away to Montpellier. Diego Dominguez knows that their fixture list isn't easy. Sorry, they're at home to Montpellier, then they're away to La Rochelle. That's a tough game. La Rochelle, top of the table coming into this game. La Rochelle at the moment, a flying start for them. They're at home to Grenoble, who they'd be expected to beat. They're bottom of the table at the moment. But then they're into Europe, Toulon. And they play Saracens, the European champions, first up before heading to Manchester to play the Sale Sharks. So it does not get any easier for this Toulon side. And if they fail to get the win here against Clermont, you think the pressure is going to build on Diego Dominguez.
It's an interesting situation, isn't it? Because other sides that get into that, habit of losing, have an ability to work themselves away from there by using those individual talents. Toulon have got those individual talents. We just wonder whether they're given the license to go, do you know what, just have a crack, because at some point we need to turn this into a win. Stop the rot.
16-6 at half-time. Looked in a good position, Toulon. Now they're really having to fight on their home patch. Big scrum coming their way, and they turned it over at scrum time. Just what the team needed. Taps on the head of Lavan Chilichava, the Georgian there on the tight head side. Straight back, drives through. Clermont pop up. Red hot scrum from Chilichava.
That's exactly when front row props are worth their weight in gold.
Gardez-moi l'axe, reculez un peu, s'il vous plaît. Merci.
Crowd are doing their bit.
Gardez l'axe, je suis là, vous savez. Flexion.
The male faithful know how important this possession is. 9 minutes left, trail Clermont by 5. Need a win, 11th on the table as it stands. Big scrum from Clermont though, it's at the feet of Manoa, and that one's been won by Clermont this time. It's tit for tat at scrum time at the moment. Back into the hands of Lopez, and he swings it with the left boot, deep back to Tuisolva. Here comes the gold medal winner. Joshua Tuisolva runs into Stanley, bumps off him. Through another. Midfield ruck for Toulon. Bernard shifts it to Gorgodza.
High shot, I think, in the midfield, so they've got advantage.
They Kriya. He's off the bench for Toulon. Advantage coming for the home side. Out of the line there is Corancier. Here's Tuisolva again through one. Gives it off to Gorgodza. Inside. Chance here for Toulon, 10 metres out. Off his feet is Tiersborg. Gives it to Liam Gill. Sets up another ruck right under the Clermont uprights. A lot of tackling here, a lot of defence for Clermont, testing their fitness. Toulon where they want to be, but they do trail by 5. Here's Gorgodza, and Mamuka Gorgodza steps up with the play. That have tied up this game. There's a reason they call him Gorgodzilla, and that's it.
Absolutely brilliant. He's been outstanding all game. Nothing short of what he's deserved.
Try yes or no is the question from Pascal Galzer.
But I think what he's saying, if it's not a try, they'll go back for the high tackle from 13 White in midfield.
It was Tiersborg. He gave it up to Etriard. Gorgodza just picks it up. Is he saying he was offside? He was in front of the ball? Is that what they're looking at?
Could possibly be that.
He steps over the ruck, so he's got 1 foot on the Clermont side of the ruck, picks it up with his left and runs through. Well, your call, Tom. What should it be?
You've got to give that. I mean, they weren't defensively set up on that near side. Weren't ready.
Well, the question is, was it a ruck anyway? Was there enough Clermont players at the ruck? Yeah, there are 2 of them there.
They're a bit sleepy there at Clermont, aren't they? They're not switched on.
It's going to take a brave official to rule out this one at the Mayol.
They're just asleep.
Ouais.
I'd give that.
Pour moi, il y a... ouais,
Defensively, they're asleep.
Non.
Really need to be on the...
Pour nous, c'est une phase de plaquage. Le 4 ramasse le ballon, donc on va essayer, on va l'accorder l'essai. C'est une phase de plaquage, messieurs.
Left mid on the ball. No one at home for Clermont. Dots it down next to the sticks. And this is the go-ahead conversion from Pierre Bernard. Makes no mistake. Toulon in front by 2.
And they've needed Gogodze today, haven't they, Toulon? He's been fantastic. Ball in hand, got through so much work and has come up trumps just when his side needed it. Brilliant piece of individual skill and awareness to help his side get in front. Just a short amount of time to play.
6.5 minutes left in this round 6 game. Toulon back in front. They led 6-6 at half-time. Clermont with 2 dazzling tries to Patricio Fernandez took the lead. And Mamuka Gogodze has come up with the try for Toulon, and they get the driving maul going. The crowd are into the game, and they've got the penalty. And right now, it's Toulon who had the momentum.
That's how quickly it can change in French rugby. The momentum for the 10 minutes prior to Gogodze scoring the try was completely with Clermont. That's been swung on its head, and now Mayo really getting behind their team. It's so difficult in France to stop that effect of the crowd. Ooh, what it can do to a side, galvanises them.
He's been hugely important for them, Mamuka Gogodze, this in row. Big impact from whistle to whistle from Mamuka Gogodze.
He's one of those players, though, that someone like Dominguez that's under pressure. Do you know what? I'll lay my hat on you. I need my best players in the side right now, and if you can do me a job at second row, thank you very much.
There he is again at the front of the line-out. It's Toulon bring this one down. Happy to wind down the clock inside the final 5 minutes. Leading Clermont by 2. 11th place coming into this game, and here they come. Bernard knocks it on. Just what they didn't need too long. And an offside player is Muller. Hold on to the ball, says Jacques Delmas from the sideline. Just when they didn't need their fly half to run at the line and cough it up is exactly what they do.
It's dangerous time as well. Lopez will look to capitalise here. Those moments, pressurised moments. As you can hear, pas de faute being called from the touchline. Cut the errors out is essentially what they're shouting. And this could cost them. Against a side like Clermont, this could be hugely dangerous. A side that know all they have to do is nick a win here.
So Clermont with a chance. Just over 3.5 minutes left. That's the 22-metre line. Unbeaten in the top 14 this season, Clermont have earned. 10 changes from the team. Swept past Bordeaux Begler and the champions Racing 92 in the last fortnight at home. Drop goal opportunity for Lopez. He's in the pocket. He's made good contact. Lopez just drifts wide. And the male crowd breathe a sigh of relief. Well, wouldn't have that been appropriate for Clermont, the man who has changed this game for them, but just misses the drop goal.
It wasn't by much, was it? And these games are won on those fine margins. Feel for Lopez there, because he's had an outstanding game since his entrance onto the field. Perhaps rushed it slightly. Could have taken their time a bit more.
This is just coming on from Marc Delmasso, the scrum coach for Toulon. Behind him there is the forwards coach, Jacques Delmas, both sending on messages.
It's all about keeping the ball and not making mistakes.
Fernandez, 2 tries in this second half. Toulon let it bounce. Clermont come through, but falling on that. Just in time is Axel Muller. Kick charge down into the hands of Muller. Benson Stanley with the tackle. Toulon flinging the ball needlessly here. 2 points, they lead this ball game, and it's Wande Kriya, of all people, replacement second rower, who says, I'll take the matter into my hands and I'll stick it over the sideline, thank you very much.
And you think with all the experience that Toulon have got, it takes a second row to actually grab the ball and the game by the scruff of the neck and said, do you know what, if no one else will deal with it, I will. Trying to kill themselves, shoot themselves in the foot at the final moments, and you can see Dominguez's reaction, shaking his head. Toulon seemingly doing all they can to give this lead away.
Benjamin Kaiser to Damian Shuley. Here's Lopez. Wesley Fufner pops it off the floor to his scrum half, and here's Kaiser. Benjamin Kaiser, the hooker, he's played every minute. Radoslavich crosses it over the 10-metre line. Patricio Fernandez, Gorgodze with the tackle, holds him up. Wants the scrum, free kick, doesn't get it. Lopez with the cross kick, over the head of Tuisova. And that one, that time, will dribble over the touchline. Already set up a brilliant try for Fernandez with the cross kick. That one not quite coming off. Marab Boujalal prodding the touchline. Of all people, he knows how important this win is for Toulon. And it's Mamuka Gorgodze who's down there.
Oh, sorry, Rupert, I was just going to say, you think that's probably the moment where the game goes. Lopez been brilliant. And almost seemingly communication gone awry there. The understanding between himself and Nick Abendinen wasn't quite there. And you could see the space was in behind Tuisova, but one of those Clermont attackers on the same wavelength as their fly half.
Toulon in no hurry to take this line out. It's not been a flawless part of their game today. Lineouts on their own throw. Etriard to Kriya. Been there, done that. Wande Kriya, the former Racing and Northampton man. Sebastian Tia's board. Calls his defenders, but stepping through the line there illegally is Paul Jadraziak for Clermont. Referee no hesitation to award the penalty.
And I'm not quite sure what he was expecting the referee to do there. You can understand the frustration, the desperation to get that ball back with just seconds left on the clock. But really, he's caused himself and his side far more problems.
Pierre Bernard kicks to the touchline. We are in the red. The clock is at 80 minutes. They will play the line out. All Toulon have to do is win the ball and kick it over the side. Juan Martin Fernandez lobby. Wande Kriya having a lot to say. Ball goes in, it does go to Kriya, it's messy, but it's Gorgodze who grabs it off the bounce. Another important moment by Mamuka Gorgodze. Sebastian Tiasbourg with the ball at the base, kicks it over the sideline. Cheers ring out around the Stade Félix Mayol. You can't underestimate the importance of this win for Toulon. And there is the man of the moment, Mamuka Gorgodze, who came up with a hugely important try 10 minutes from time. 2-point win for Toulon, 23-21 over Clermont, their first loss of the season.